episode of Haunted and Historic Australia. Thanks to the lockdown ending, we are finally back out there and exploring the historic and paranormal.
We're here at St. Bartholomew's Cemetery. We've done a video on this at an earlier time before the great lockdown of 21 here in Sydney, which was quite a interesting time for us all. We haven't been able to do anything since, so we're up here. I suggest that you go ahead, not for me or the missus, but for yourselves, and watch the video we did on St. Bartholomew's, which was in the late afternoon. So we've come back here anyway because we wanted to do this one, but that'll give you an idea of what's going on here. Plus it's a fantastic video, if I do say myself, with a certain amount of bias. My name's Mitch, my missus' name is Annette, and we are Haunted and Historic Australia.
Here at Bartholomew's Cemetery at night. After all the lockdowns we've had, we finally got back here. It's the M4, still noisy at 9 o'clock at night. You can see some of the graves here. It's not the best night vision. I'll hop onto the night vision in a moment. I just wanted to have a little pop over here. And the church is up the top there. We were right up the top last time, near the tree. Now normally this place is locked at night unless there's a ghost tour happening. And tonight it wasn't locked. Night of all nights we come to have a little look and the gate's open. So we thought, why not take the opportunity to pop on in. Now doing an EVP with this much noise is just going to be very hard. It probably would have been easier up there. However, the gate as you go in where we went in last time would be locked. And there's a caretaker up the top who looks after it, so we don't really want to bother him. And I just wanted to suss out if he's going to come down and tell us to bugger off. If he's going to do that, well, it's not going to be good. So I didn't want to put the night vision on straight away to draw attention to us, so I'll just have a little walk about in the dark. Now I think from what I'm looking at here, a lot of these are new. I know you can't really see at the minute, but I will get night vision on in a sec. I don't really want to be looking in on people's gravestones anyway, but it does look like these ones are quite new. We've got someone from the army here. We've got the army emblem. Yeah, so some of these headstones are quite new, more modern, and they look a lot more kept. Not as old and broken as the ones that seem to be up the top. But there are a couple of oldish looking ones here. Now I'm pretty certain there's nobody up there. It's hard to tell what's a headstone or a person sometimes in the night. Yeah, look, I think it's pretty safe to say, look, no one's going to come and shoo us away at this point. So I'll flick across to night vision. Just a sec. Okay, and we're off and racing. Mitch is going to be taking a couple of still photos for us. Now hopefully this doesn't draw too much attention from the caretaker. I always wonder sometimes if I'm walking on people's graves when there's a couple of spaces. Now, mind the bug. So we're down in the bottom section of Bartholomew's with the cockroaches, and there are some broken graves here, sunken. (1978), so this area is not too old. I think I might walk up this area here. There's probably no point doing the spirit box. I don't think we're going to catch anything in particular. I don't think we're going to catch anything with so much noise from the highway. And with my little torch on, oh, look at that. Wow. It's just been kind of wooded together, someone's plot. Looks like it's been kind of mashed and bashed. It's a shame. Yes, as I was saying, it's taken us a while to get back here, unfortunately, due to the lockdown we were in for several months, and homeschooling we were subjected to. Now we do have a couple of cracked and broken ones here. Poor Frank. A couple of people here that have been buried and their little graves have been broken. I've got one eye on where I'm walking and the other eye pointed at the church. I really don't want to be shooed out of here, because we want to bring you content. Ooh, that looks a little sinister. Looks like they started digging and gave up. Now it goes quite a ways back to where I filmed earlier at old M4. I'm going to go down, maybe see if we can get to the other side. Might be a little quieter. Mum and Dad. James Flanagan. Now I think I spoke last time about some of the notable people who have been buried here. A couple of the streets around here have been named after the people that are buried here. I remember seeing a Lebon. Some of these, unfortunately, we just can't read. They've been worn off. Jeez, I swore I just heard him call out to me, but he's facing the other way. Unless he's talking to himself. Or it's the caretaker going, "Oi, get out of here. Call on the cops." We're not doing anything bad, you know, we're just having a little gaze. Having a peek at some of our history, really. No one in my family's been buried here. Not that I know of, anyway, of the family history research that I've done. I haven't found anyone that's been buried here from my lot. come from England and Ireland, and it's about as far as I've got so far. Probably further back, I know we all came from Africa, somewhere like that. It's Homo sapiens. I don't know how far I can walk up here before. Oh, look at that. Look, someone's even shared a VB. Oh no, it's Tui's. Someone's given this fella a Tui's. That's brilliant. I'm not gonna. Alright, shout out to Hupton. Good on you, that's true blue. Look at that. Even a dog with glasses. Beautiful. Yeah, I've got a couple of cemeteries in Sydney where my people are buried. Some of them unfortunately have been buried with unmarked graves. And it's sad. It's sad. I mean, I'm sure the people that have passed on don't really care too much about whether or not they have a headstone, but I don't know, I kind of feel like if someone misses out, you know, it's not nice. Look at this grand old thing. More family. Oh, good Lord. Hello. How's it going? Not bothering you. Not bothering me. Don't jump on me. I'm so paranoid that the caretaker's going to lock us in and we'll be trapped here with the dead. Oh, I swear the mozzies are getting to me as well. So, having a little, have a go. What happened here? Some poor souls ended up with something missing. We've got a frame. Can't quite see what's on it. Oh, Iris. How are you, love? We've got a photo of you anyway. Yeah, it's quite a noisy place, unfortunately. Parked right next to the M4. Of course, this place was here before the M4. Even the Great Western that's over there doesn't seem to be as noisy as the M4. You wouldn't think that the M4 would still be quite noisy this time of night. And again, people have probably been itching to get out for months. I know I have. This one here. I don't know if I came down this far last time. I don't think I did. I kind of went about halfway to the top and went back up. So this, folks, is the rest of our fans. Our passed over fans. I'm sure they would be fans. We're here. We're chatting to them. We care. And now this place has been extra haunted, hey. I know in my last video, there was a couple of tales. Of different people, that's a grave there. Different people who, there was the caretaker that's been filmed in the windows. Caretaker who's been filmed in the windows, sometimes peeking, and I think I took a couple of shots last time and saw something. It's quite interesting. I know it's always every chance of pareidolia, but amongst all that pareidolia, I'm sure there's got to be some paranormal. Maybe not every time, but the way the world is now, with cameras and videos, we're bound to catch the paranormal at some point, and I don't think they care. They're movie stars now, you know. If they get on film, they're movie stars. This one's seen better days, unfortunately. The older ones seem to not really make it. And the ground moves and things break. Unfortunately, nothing stays intact for too long. But that's all right. I do hope the descendants of these people come and visit. I'm sure a lot would. I know with some of my ancestors are buried, well, actually two lots are buried outside of Sydney, and I rarely get to visit them, unfortunately. One lot in Braidwood and another lot up in past Newcastle, Maitland. Unfortunately, lives get busy and you don't seem to kind of travel too far. People not necessarily get forgotten, but it gets hard. You know, my grandparents are buried up in the Blue Mountains, and gee, I haven't been up to see their grave for several years. And they're my grandparents. I've just been warned not to go too close. I'm getting a little bit close to the caretakers area, so I might just come on back down this way. But yeah, night explore at Bartholomew's. We're taking some still photos. We've had people that have come here. I mean, there's a ghost tour that's done here when we're not in lockdown, and the ghosts that they've seen, there's three different men. One was, I believe, a naval officer. Another was a fella chasing his 3-year-old daughter. The daughter is usually seen, and the mother is buried up at the front where we were last time, at the front of the church. And I believe his name's James Pond, and the street that's just on the side of the cemetery is named after him, Pond Street. And he is the caretaker who's been seen in the windows of the church. And yeah, people have been taking photos here. Some feel sick when they go near a particular man's grave, the naval officer's grave. I will correct that if he's not actually a naval officer. I've kind of forgotten over the months of homeschooling. My brain's a bit slower than it was, having to remember fractions and rhombus and other weird named things that I've tried to block out over the last 20 years. But yeah, so I will edit this anyway and pop up the names of the ghosts and stuff. But we will take some still shots, and hopefully, fingers crossed, all the action doesn't just happen up near that church, and we might get something down here. There's some graves that are a bit more recent, so perhaps, being that they're not that old, we might get a couple of people who have recently passed in shot. So we'll do a bit more, get some snaps, and we'll see what we can catch. And hopefully, I know it's a bit loud for an EVP, I'll get the K2 out and some cat balls and maybe leave them around and film them and see what I can come up with in this noisy cemetery to try and raise the dead. Okay, I will be back to you shortly. So I worked out with this app I can actually film and take photos at the same time. So I'm going to have to be a bit more steady. I'm just coming down here. Just a little paranoid with the torch being on, but the caretaker might be alerted to us and come down and shoo us away. talking for a second and I'm just taking photos. Now hopefully we get someone. Now the story with the 3-year-old girl is that people have seen her racing onto the road. Onto the M4. Which anyone who's got kids knows that if the child goes anywhere near the road, your anxiety levels go up and you start to panic. And you just start worrying.
Let's see what we can do here with the old PVP. Just a minute. Now this will pick up any words whilst we're here at St. Bartholomew's, hoping that nobody comes down here and tries to screw around with us, because we shouldn't be here. So anyway, we'll see what it comes up with. So what do you got? Is there anybody here that would like to chat with us? Is there anyone here that would like to chat with us or let us know what's happening? Please do. This is your chance. Obviously, I'm going to need to analyse outside of this setting.
I'm sorry. I know I got your text message. Sorry, I was recording at the time, but
That's all right.
you wanted to go already.
Just taking some footage of St. Bart's. We're doing a couple of experiments here, and I guess just seeing what we can find. It's good to be back out here, but the missus is loving it. I am. I'm glad to be back out of here. But I'm the security detail here, so I've got to keep an eye out and make sure we're all right, which is fine. But I guess that's the only thing when you're out with your loved one, your woman, you know, if you're the man, basically you, and she's not tougher than you, I guess. You got to be the one that's in charge of, you know, foiling any attempts to get in your way or hers, you know. So yeah, I mean, I'm no badass or no you know, bare knuckle Bob the Basher, but you know, so they're not going to let somebody do something that's going to upset her. And I keep thinking I know that there's flashes up here going on with the it's due to the freeway that's passing us, yeah. But I just feel like I'm seeing other things as well. I don't know. I'd have to look. I'm going to have to review this footage. But I don't know. There's a certain sense of, I don't know. There's a lot of history here, but so there's a lot of, especially up near the church. There's some. If you watch that video I keep talking about, the first one, it's a good video. It's informative, you know. Well, and it gives you an indication of the importance of this place, you know, in the whole realm of Australia in the beginning, you know, in the beginning of the European arrival, of course, you know. But check it out. But this place here, I'm sure the missus will put up a little bit of something else about the sightings here that, yeah, well, they're quite eerie. There's been some well-documented situations where people have caught things on still photo. I'm not sure about film, but you know, possibly. People have been, well, they've been touched, you know, tapped or whatever. And yeah, so there is something about this place, but it is something about it too. I got this, there's this smell in the air. I'm not going to say the obvious, but it's something I never smelt really before. It's like, I don't know, it's like old. It smells old. It smells like an old cupboard, I guess. And it's funny, it only happened when I walked in the gate over here just behind me. Like as I'm walking right outside that gate there, I couldn't smell a thing. So I don't know whether that means anything, but it's interesting. Yeah, it's a unique smell. Not necessarily bad or offensive, but it's certainly there. And it's, yeah, it's funny that it's, you know, 5-10 meters behind me outside that gate there, which I've just went and checked it out a second time before I come in. After we came in, there's no smell out there. So yeah, is that paranormal, or is that just my nose playing up? Who knows? Another mystery. Like, share, subscribe. Like, share, subscribe. Like, share, subscribe. And we'll love you a long time.
Okay, I'm just going to run the Ovulus and see what we can get. We thought we may have heard someone yelling up the top. Could be the caretaker telling us to bugger off. And there's a weird smell. And it's not us. Just saying. Yeah, so we just wanted to quickly run around with the Ovulus going, or Paralus. We've got the cheap version. Yeah, just having a quick check to see if anything comes up.
Scanning stopped. Scanning.
I don't actually know if it's working. But anyway, yeah, I'll keep talking. We're just going to take some still photos, and I'm just going to listen. Normally the Paralus talks a little bit more than what it is at the moment. It's not really talking at the minute. There's a little arrow on it. I don't know what that arrow is doing, but I'm following it. It's telling me to come up this way. That's right. If nothing's happening with the Ovulus Paralus, shortly I'll switch over to another one. Might need an update or something. Don't really know. But our caretaker mate doesn't seem to be fussed, and our car's still there. Haven't been locked in. Can be good. Can you see if the car's still there? We're not locked in? Sorry?
I think we're okay, sweetheart.
We're good?
I'm just taking a quick photo up there.
Okay. Picked. We've got picked on the Paralus. Okay. What I'll try and do is have this running picked. Alright, I'm going to move a bit closer to the graves. See if we can get anything else to speak to us. Now, can you talk? Tell us something. Does someone want to speak to us? Someone who's buried here? Hike. It's a bit of a hike to get to that church up there, I tell you. I don't plan on walking it tonight. But yeah, it's quite interesting here. I like being in these cemeteries. I know that sounds pretty morbid, but I do. It's peaceful a lot of the time, unless you're parked next to the M4. But yeah, it's quite a nice place. I think it's peaceful and there's so much history. I love that stuff. It's quite good. So I'm just going to go back. I can't see the names on these gravestones, so I can't see if someone's name was or surname was Hike. So I can only assume that they're referring to the fact that I'm walking in a grassed area, rugged terrain.
Manual.
So we've had 2 words. Manual. Manual. Alright. Might switch over to one of my other ghost apps. Ghost radio is always a favourite. We love some ghost radio. I'm on a ghost radio. Oh, I shouldn't sing that song, eh? Someone might take my take the rights to it. I'm sure it wasn't in key anyway. So I'm going to see if we're gonna work. It's taking its time. And of course, being in lockdown for 4 months, I probably haven't updated all of these apps, which is quite naughty. I'm going to have to edit this. Where we come on, radio. Oh, what? Come on. Do it. Okay, what else we got? What can we use? Well, my ghost tube doesn't work anymore because I didn't pay for it. Yes. Old trusty. I took this one to Parramatta Jail and had some interesting things on it. So that's quite... they're quite relevant things too. At some point I'll get that information up. We were part of a group, unfortunately, so we didn't really get to go off on our own and really get a lot of footage. It was mainly just photos, because every time you tried to tape something, someone would get in the way, and you don't really want to tape other people on tour. So, Parramatta Jail. Yeah, we were going to go back and have another crack at Parramatta Jail, because we definitely reckon something's there. So we're about to get a word, I believe. What would you like to say to us? Nothing? Okay. Yeah, so Parramatta Jail has definitely got something going on there. There's definitely some spirits. Now, I don't know if it's the uneven ground here, but I felt really dizzy back here. Oh, I'm feeling it again. Is someone trying to take my energy? Let me go back to where I felt dizzy. If the I might just flop to the floor in a sec, and there won't be much talking going on. Yeah, wow, it's really strong here. I'm feeling very dizzy. I don't know who this is. McCarthy. Eric Donald. Okay, so I'm next to Mr. McCarthy. Hopefully he's not draining too much of my energy. There's another one here. Nobody's talking. Who have we got? Still feeling very dizzy. Mandino. Now, someone here trying to talk. I'll go back to McCarthy. So it was really here that I felt dizzy before. Someone wanting to communicate? Okay, what I might do is I'll go back to film and I'll try an EVP. Hopefully we might get something. Okay, so it's quite dark here. I'm just going to get the EVP set up. I felt really dizzy before walking past Eric McCarthy's grave, and I think this is definitely the place to do an EVP. Okay. My nails are a little bit... I'm just going to put it down on his grave. I hope you don't mind. Okay. So we're just setting an EVP now on Mr. McCarthy's grave. This is where I felt dizzy a moment ago, so I just wanted to see if I could catch anything. Sadly, on this occasion, we didn't receive any EVPs in this session. It may have been that the ghost had disappeared, or whatever was coming over me just seemed to stop. But Mitch saw something up near the church, or felt he saw something, and probably the smell was getting the best of him. But we decided to call it a night, and we'll definitely be back to see if we can get some more next time. Okay, we've come to the end. Just going to do last minute torch. We've just come to the end of our filming. It's just getting a little sketchy here, so we've decided we best go. We've been here for about 45 minutes now, doing various footage and stuff, so we thought it's best to wrap it up. We don't want to anger anyone, but yeah, hopefully there was something on some of our still photos that might give us a little bit of action. And we will try and get here again in the future, and we're going to try a couple of other places. There's a lot of cemeteries in Parramatta area that are open all hours, basically like St John's, so you don't have to really sneak around and film. You can just kind of rock up and do what you want. So, not do what you want, but film what you want. So this is Bartholomew's Night Explore, and we shall be back. Thank you for watching. As we were walking around the cemetery, we were really hoping that we may run into the caretaker of yesteryear. Not the current caretaker, but James Pond, who was the caretaker when the church and the cemetery were first established. He's been known to look through the windows from inside the church at people outside, long after he was buried here. There was also Benjamin Hallen, who was a sea master. Being a relative of someone else buried there, he in turn was buried here also. And it is known that if you pass by his grave up near the church, you could either pass out or feel very sick. Now lastly, there was the ghost of a 3-year-old girl who can be seen running towards the M4. Her father, who is also known to haunt the area, chases her. His mother is buried up near the church also. We think we may have captured a couple of people in our images. What do you think? We hope you enjoyed the episode of St Bart's Cemetery at night. We do aim to get back there very soon to do a little bit more investigation. Stay tuned for our upcoming episodes where we venture into Parramatta Park and do a couple of the historic areas there, as well as exploring at night time. We hope you join us.
Aussie made.